And this week, our quote comes from Stephen Levitt, a renowned American economist known for co-authoring the international bestseller Freakonomics. He got degrees from Harvard and MIT. He became a professor of economics at the University of Chicago as well. Got a bunch of awards. So this is a guy to listen to when it comes to quotes about money, and specifically this one, a quote about annuities during this Annuity Awareness Month. He said this: "People who buy annuities, it turns out, live longer than people who don't, and not because the people who buy annuities are healthier to start with. The evidence suggests that an annuity's steady payout provides a little extra incentive to keep chugging along." What do you think about Stephen Levitt's quote there, Mike?
I think his quote makes sense. I had forgotten his name. I did not forget his book. Okay, Freakonomics is an amazing read for those of you who like to read that kind of stuff, and written by, I mean, the guy is a genius, right? Harvard, MIT, professor of economics at the University of Chicago. There's this thing called a selection effect. And, being risk averse, being trying to live a somewhat healthier lifestyle, being somewhat financially savvy, all of those self-selection mechanisms, a group of annuity buyers is not just a random sample of the general population. Instead, it consists of people who, on average, have characteristics that are associated with longer life expectancy, and that creates that selection bias. So, things like financial security, the fact that annuities provide a steady income stream, which can lead to less financial stress and a higher quality of life in retirement. Just having that financial security can contribute to better health outcomes, right? Because they're not literally pulling their hair out worried about money. And it allows folks to afford health care, afford more nutritious food and other necessities. And then people who buy annuities usually engage in much more thorough financial and retirement planning. And that planning often correlates with a greater overall awareness of longevity and health, which leads to proactive health management and preventative care. And then there may be an inherent difference in lifestyle and health behaviors of those, although his quote says, not necessarily, but, when we look at the correlation, those individuals might prioritize living longer and get regular medical checkups as a result, which is obviously going to contribute to their longer life span. And then, of course, knowing that you have guaranteed income, a paycheck that comes in every single month like clockwork that you can count on, that is going to reduce stress for the annuitants who own those annuities. And then obviously the lower stress levels are going to be associated with much better health outcomes, including reduced risk of chronic conditions like heart disease. Okay, I didn't even know that until I was preparing for the show. But, overall, the combination of all of those things contributes to the observed phenomenon that annuity purchasers actually do tend to live longer than those who don't purchase annuities. So, folks, if you expect and want to live long and prosper, an annuity just might be for you.
There you go. I love the it was like a little Star Trek reference there, wasn't it? But yeah, no, that's absolutely right, because the data really does back up the fact that people who do have annuities tend to live longer, healthier lives than those who don't, and for all of those reasons that you just mentioned. And of course, with June being Annuity Awareness Month, it's a great time to highlight that, and also highlight a lot of the different features of annuities, because people who are listening might say, if you've just happened to tune in, you might say, okay, I think I've heard of annuities. I'm not really quite sure what they are. I've heard, maybe people bad mouthing annuities, putting them under one kind of umbrella as a bad thing and to stay away from them. And then I've heard other people say that they're great and they're the best thing since sliced bread. So what we want to do is break that all down, clear away the cobwebs, clear away any confusion, and give you the truth about annuities here, Mike. Let's start with the fact that, most retirees and pre-retirees today don't have a pension, but they can create a lifetime income stream for themselves, a personal pension. And more people are actually doing that, creating that long-term income for themselves during retirement.
Right. So I mean, I think it's just real important for folks first and foremost to understand the basics of what an annuity is, right? So an annuity is a contract with an insurance company. It creates guaranteed income for the owner, and it lasts often. You can do it for a period of time, or you can do it for the entirety of your life. And then whenever you pass away, that money goes to your named beneficiaries. And there are a few types of annuities just to kind of be aware of, and those include fixed annuities, indexed annuities, variable annuities, right? Those are the three kind of categories that we have, and each one offers different levels of risk as well as expected returns. So I think the first thing that a pre-retiree, somebody who's preparing for retirement, or somebody who has just entered into retirement, needs to do is, if they haven't already done it, is identify their retirement income needs. And by that I mean, consider how much money, how much income that you're going to need in retirement to cover all of your expenses, whether those are bills, as well as your desires and wants, and travel, and dining out and entertainment and stuff like that. Evaluate your current savings, evaluate your expected Social Security benefits, and any other income sources, because we can design the annuity to help you fill those gaps in your retirement income plan